Joining me today on NYSE Floor Talk is Mical Jeanlys-White. She is the founder and CEO at WealthMore. And I also have Keisha Landrum Pierre. She is co-founder and general partner at Emmeline Ventures. Mical, Keisha, it is wonderful to have you both here. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk today.
Thanks for having us. Really excited to be here. Thanks for having us.
A pleasure to have you both. So, Mical, I want to start with you. Now, before starting WealthMore, you were a senior executive on Wall Street. Tell me, why did you leave Wall Street to start WealthMore?
Absolutely. I was having a fantastic time on Wall Street, but at the same time saw an opportunity to help more Americans do better. The reality is Americans are underserved when it comes to investing, financial planning, and wealth building. And WealthMore fills the gap by making advice more accessible to more Americans. It's scary, but 70% of American households go with no financial advice. And the sad part is those that get advice grow 2 times more wealth. So it is imperative that we make it easier for more Americans to have access to advice. And frankly, Americans work too hard not to enjoy financial security.
Tell me more about what you're hoping to accomplish with WealthMore.
Absolutely. Well, frankly, I'm inviting the millions of Americans who do not get financial advice to join us on WealthMore. And on WealthMore, they will have access to financial planners who are experts in their field, but also a community experience. What we know is that when people have access to support and see themselves presented in the financial markets, they do better, they invest more, they have more confidence around building wealth, and more than just investing. We're talking about estate planning, college planning, and the entire spectrum of retirement planning as well. And while previous efforts have been done to make this more accessible, we're still not there.
Now, Keisha, tell me, why did Emmeline Ventures choose to invest in WealthMore?
So for us, it's 2 key things, right? So it's founder market fit, and it's the total addressable market, right? So for us, when we met Mical and understood her background, she has over 20 years of experience in financial services. But beyond that, she was the managing director at one of the top global financial institutions, right? So she has a real depth of understanding when it comes to the markets that are served, in financial services and with wealth management. And she's found an opportunity that exists with millions of Americans who are unserved when it comes to wealth management. And so we said the total addressable market it's a $13 billion total addressable market that she not only has found and discovered, but also has built a solution to address that market, pulling from her expertise. So for us, it was perfect. And she's building for an audience that we care deeply about. And that's precisely why we're investing. Emmeline Ventures invests in women entrepreneurs, building solutions for women in particular. And so what she's building is quite narrowly within our thesis.
And how can capital markets support WealthMore and more inclusive fintech products?
So it's a great question. We need capital markets to route its attention, resources, and capital to firms like ours, like Emmeline Ventures and others that are focusing on these underserved markets, which are emerging markets and markets of, what I would say, the financial return is just as high as any other asset class for us. So really we say route capital towards female founders, right? Route capital to the emerging markets that they're unlocking and tapping into.
All right. Well, sounds like you want to add something there,
I
Mical?
definitely agree. Female founders receive less than 2% of VC dollars, and Black founders receive less than 1%. So definitely an opportunity to serve our companies better.
Right. And may I add? So absolutely. I think we often talk about the amount of capital that goes to women entrepreneurs, to entrepreneurs of color. And what we're really unlocking is a market opportunity here, right? And what we're at we often say 10 years from now, we'll look like the geniuses, because people really say, well, why wasn't the world sort of looking at this opportunity? And so we're at the ground floor of unlocking a huge opportunity.
All right, well, it sounds like we have another conversation to have in the future. So
I think you're right.
It is wonderful to talk with you both. Congratulations, and thanks for joining me on Floor Talk today.
Thanks for having us, Judy.
Thanks, Judy.